This is the One UI 7 Beta 1, and I've been using this for 1 week right now. And in this video I'm going to share with you the nitty-gritty details and what I think is good, bad, what is working, what is still not working, and what is my general opinion about the One UI 7. One thing is for sure, the One UI 7 is very different from what we've seen before in One UI 6 and the previous releases, and in the same time it does feel very familiar because it's still One UI. So let's start the video, let's dive deep, and let me show you the nitty-gritty details I was able to find. There are many small things that at the end add up to something nice, and let me share it with you. The first thing I would like to start is the always on display and the lock screen, because this is, I do believe, essential the way we use our phones these days. This here is my always on display, and this beneath is my cat on wallpaper. Alright, so now I'm gonna double tap and I'm going to enter the lock screen with this beautiful effect where I get the full image. Now guys, let me show you something. This thing here is a timer, right? And you can see that the timer is active right now. The moment I go inside the always on display, the timer will remain active, and of course, because that's an always on display, I'm not able to manipulate it. And this thing is also a new thing called the Now bar. Probably not the best name, but in terms of functionality, I do believe it's quite essential, and I'm gonna show you why I like this. In fact, let me do this right now. I'm gonna open a Spotify song. Let's start playing. Alright. I'm gonna go and the always on display, and you can see that the song is playing. Of course, I'm not able to manipulate it, but the moment I go to the lock screen, I'm able to change it. Not only change it, guys, but I'm able to juggle or switch between all these things in the Now bar. So let's say if I want to get the timer displayed on my always on display in real time, I can do so. If I don't like the timer, I can stop it, right? I can then move to my song from Spotify and enjoy the beautiful music of Netflix. If I don't like it, I can stop it, or let's say go to the next song. It's not a problem at all. It really works like a charm. Also, guys, let me show you what you can do with the lock screen. If I hold my finger here, standard Galaxy editing, I will now be presented with options to edit the lock screen. Options that were there before, but also some new ones. In the previous version of One UI, we only got the frame and effect, but now I do have suggest in the gallery, so I can directly hit here the gallery and go inside my camera or screenshots or download. But I do like also the fact that we have the suggest button. This will analyze the picture and it will provide you with some nice effects, frames, and also combinations of different coloring. And what I do like, guys, about this, see what happens here under the background. Right now, this is the original picture, and we can see that we have the colors also here as well, which is, again, a small thing, aesthetically very pleasing. If I go to the next one, you can see that with this background, everything around changes, and it happens also on the next section as well. What I would like to see in the future is some kind of transition when we just go from here to here, and not like this right now. This is going to be even more beautiful, but you see the idea. And if you don't like this, by the way, you can click suggest again, and then the One UI 7 will bring even more suggestions. See, this is what I'm talking about. Right now it's black and white. Everything here, the whole frame changes, the whole ambience around the lock screen to be changes. Now the next one, see again, and the next one again. You can also go and select frame and then choose a frame of your own, and as well also a combination. And by the way, guys, see, every time I do change the background color, like the widgets and the clock, it's going to change again. And I do understand that the Chinese phones out there, they have really powerful always on displays with lock screen, with some fancy animations, with depth effect. Even Xiaomi HyperOS has depth effect behind a video, which is really crazy. But One UI 7 also stands out with just this simplicity and somehow aesthetically very pleasant. You can also see the way the color changes of the clock. All right, now it's red. The moment I go here, you're gonna see it's going to become from white to then this light pink. As I'm here on the lock screen, let me show you all kind of widgets. This is also a very new thing in One UI 7. We now have plenty of widgets that we can put on the lock screen, guys. And I'm talking battery widgets, I'm talking calendar widgets, I'm also talking clock widgets, I'm also talking device care. Like, we now have also a widget for expert role, interpreter, motion routines, reminder. A lot of things that are native or core for One UI you can now put here on the widget screen, and you can get up to 2 widgets here. This thing is not resizable, by the way, but when you click on the clock, you can see you can drag it around, make it smaller or bigger, and yep, just position it where you want it to be, which is really cool. Again, I realize this is not the most powerful always on display and a lock screen, but I really like the way it's implemented. It's very straightforward and you can easily select or unselect options, just arrange things, and it doesn't really require a lot of skill. I mean, like, yeah, it's an always on display, but you get the basic functionality. It works also very smooth, and I really hope that One UI 7 will take it from here and make it into really something full-fledged. Now, I have my doubts that they will just go crazy and depth effects and animations and depth effects for video, because again, this is still Samsung. But at the end of the day, One UI 7 design aesthetically changed a lot from One UI 6 to One UI 7. By the way, let me show you something else next, guys. Here, this is the new redesigned quick menu. A lot of people hate it, a lot of people love it. I really like it a lot. From here I can access my favorite music player, right? Change all the songs. If you don't like the layout, still you have some options. You can just hold it up and drag it like here. And again, remember what I said in the introduction of the video. It's all about these tiny small changes. Now, pay attention here. This is the slider bar, right? And the moment I move it to the right, which is the maximum, it's full illuminated. And when I just move it like this, bare minimum brightness, the bar itself will become darker. And again, it's a small thing. Maybe a lot of people will not even notice, but I just kind of like the way they implemented it, because they really put a lot of thought into this. Also, see all the new shapes, guys. Now they have the round corners, and finally in One UI 7 we do have the battery percentage inside. And now, speaking about battery, let me show you something. I'm gonna start charging my phone. See what happens here, guys. We have this very beautiful animation, they change it, and remember in the past we got an animation that was centered directly on the screen here, obstructing your view. Let me show you something else that I do believe is cool. So I'm just going to start now my music, so I can access my music from here, from the quick settings, right? I do have also this timer that I'm going to restart, and by the way, this timer is going to beautifully minimize here in this section, and to make it even more interesting, I'm just gonna start a voice recording. Now, why am I doing this? Just to illustrate the new now bar and its power. So now here I do have my voice recording, right? If I do like this, I can still see what is running behind that, and this is actually my stopwatch. And if I don't like it, I can just swipe left, and now I'm just gonna have the stopwatch. If I also don't want to have the stopwatch there, right, I can just go back on the lock screen and boom, remove it. But I wanted to show something else. Let me just go and put the timer right now again and the voice recorder. Let's make sure that my music is playing. All right, so now guys, I'm gonna go here on my always on display, and you can see, yeah, that's kind of normal. I do have my music player here, but with a swipe of my finger I can now go back to my stopwatch or even the voice recorder. Where is the voice recorder? Let me put it back. All right, let's start recording. I'm gonna go here back on my always on. This is the lock screen, so I have voice recorder, I do have the timer now, and I have also my music player. So let's say that I'm recording something on the always on display. I want to see the control in real time. Now let's assume I'm done recording. I can just go on my lock screen, stop this one, right, pause it, just go to the next one, which is my timer, go back to my activity, and then just throw an eye once in a while to just see what is going on. Again, very small things, but honestly, the way they integrated with the new rounded shapes, I do believe this is really looking great. And by the way, while we're here on the desktop, guys, yeah, you can see something that you cannot see in any other One UI version. Yeah, those are the large folders. So right now you can just select a folder. Let's do this with the social. Put it somewhere where you have place, click, and boom, enlarge. Something that I do like is the fact that this doesn't really only look cool, guys. Take a look. I can now directly access and click my applications from the enlarged folders. So let's say that I will enlarge this one here, and let's say that I want to access my settings, boom, or my calendar, boom, also to calculate. All right, see, again, small changes, but there are so many in One UI 7, and I guess that by this time you're already seeing the new icons. We have a new icon for the gallery, new icon for the camera, new icon for the settings, for the calendar, for the clock. By the way, guys, appreciate the little details. We do have also a new icon for expert raw. This is absolutely cool. So expert raw icon is even better
then the standard camera icon, and something that I wanted to show you in this video, guys, because again, I've been using this already like 1 week, really digging everywhere I can. If I go to the home settings, we have something called the app and widget style, and this is cool because from here you can directly resize the size of the icons on your home screen. And by the way, all the icons will get bigger, but not the ones that are in the already enlarged folder. And we have to appreciate this. Again, nothing groundbreaking, but people are really putting some extra efforts into these tiny details, and I do appreciate it. This is the smaller one. You can see all my icons now small, and you have plenty of other options as well. You can remove the up labels, no up labels, and we do even have a setting to remove the widget labels, because now I have labels for all my widgets, and this works only on the standard one, so it will not work, let's say, on a Spotify widget. So when you click here and you go back inside the settings, right, you can just decide to remove the labels for the widgets. Again, nitty gritty, very small things, but they are there, and they're really so many. The next thing I want to show you guys, I'm gonna go inside the wallpaper and style, color palette. You can see I have it applied, but I can of course try to apply the palette to the up icons. And once I apply it, you're gonna see like almost everything is themed here. Like all the standard Samsung stock applications are themed. All my Google applications are themed besides the Google camera. Then guys, see also popular apps like Telegram, the Messenger, the Viber, the Facebook, the X. And if I just go and show I have many apps, a lot of them do support dynamic theming, material view from Android, and it really looks gorgeous. See here guys, even these small indication icons here are also themed. And speaking about standard settings, I want to show you something more. Let's click on a folder. Let's try to change the color, right? This thing existed before, but now when I go into the custom color selection, I do have this picker here, and I can really custom pick any color I want. So let's say that you like this color, not a problem at all. Boom, press down, and yeah, there it is. And again, not groundbreaking, but very pleasant. Also, speaking about the future integrations, let me go back inside the home screen settings. Besides the fact that we now can control the icon size directly from the home screen, they added something called more customization. And when you click it, boom, what a surprise! It's going to directly link you to the home app. A while ago, I covered the leaked home app APK from One UI 7 with the crazy fruit and apple and orange and animation settings. So I just have a feeling that this thing is going to really kick some ass. Something else guys, let me show you. This is my app drawer, right? Standard and boring, and of course also horizontal. A lot of people were just begging Samsung, please bring back the vertical app drawer, and we could do that with the good luck and some modules. But right now guys, when you click inside here, right, and you press sort, right, boom, this is it guys. It's a bit weird because you need to choose alphabetical order, but right now we do have a native vertical app drawer. Not a lot of settings still, but I hope that they will add more and more with time. Something else guys, if I do like this, I'm going to get access only to my quick panel settings. If I do like this, I'm getting access only to my notifications. I really love it. Some people really hate it, and if you hate it guys, you can always click here. There's going to be something called the panel settings, and from here you can go for the separate view or for the together view. So right now I'm back on my home screen. I swipe from the right. I do have here the quick panel that of course will expand to the full version. By the way, pay attention, full quick panel, minimize quick panel, and I do have here all my notifications, and of course from here I am getting the same. So if you decide to go with the together view and you go inside the panel settings, you're gonna see adapted settings for this view. And here we have the brightness control, right? And you can show it always or just show it when you expand the quick panel, and a setting for the device control and media output. Don't show or show only when collapsed. I'm a fan of the separate one, so here, right swipe, quick panel, left swipe, notification. Something else that drew my attention. Let me go here in the settings, all right? Standard settings with of course the new design, but when you click here on the search guide, beside your recent searches, you're gonna get topics. Everything is here. Alright, so you want to get some nice settings, you get nice settings. See what happens here. I start to swipe down, we have the display settings. Swiping more, lock screen and AOD, and this changes dynamically and expanding here very beautifully. And again, it's not groundbreaking, but the little tiny things in One UI 7 are so many, and I do believe that Samsung really put a lot of extra work into this, and I hope that One UI 7 really is going to be a great experience. They didn't change only these things here, guys. Remember when I opened the camera, Samsung removed the camera control from the upper part here down below, which is really better for one hand. Not only this, from here I'm now able to set a custom exposure on the different lenses. So let's say that on the back camera I'm gonna have 0.6. The moment I go to the front camera, you see the exposure is 1.8, and I can of course change it as well. Go back to the back camera, boom. The stock camera will now save individual exposure setting. We do have to appreciate the level of detail here, and speaking about level of detail, let me show you something fancy. I'm gonna go inside the battery, right? We do have the battery protection, but now it's been redesigned and I can select different levels for it for the maximum protection. And right now, as you can see, I'm at 95%. I'm gonna change my maximum battery protection to 80%. And the moment I start charging the phone, pay attention guys. And this thing here is just another good example on the level of detail that Samsung is putting for One UI 7. Now, 1 week of usage, no big issues so far. Some people told me that NFC payments still don't work, which kind of makes sense, but the Google Play Store is certified. I've been using the phone as a normal phone. Sometimes I even forget that this is a beta, and it is a beta, and I really hope that it's gonna get only better from here. This is my experience, 1 week of One UI 7, guys. If you're already using it, please share your experience down below, and I hope that we can have a conversation. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Stay safe, VST, over and bye.